Hi, my name is Jacqueline. I'm the Education Coordinator here at the Ojai Raptor Center, and this is Willow, one of our barn owl ambassadors. And we're really excited to bring you more of these educational videos showing you behind the scenes look at our rehabilitation work, but also to highlight our education program and our unreleasable ambassadors like Willow. If you don't live close to us, you've probably never had the opportunity to come to one of our open houses or see one of our outreach education programs where we go to schools and libraries and different public venues to present to the public our non-releasable ambassadors to teach them how to be better stewards for our shared environment. Because every wildlife rehabilitation, especially ones that are located like us in suburban and near urban areas, experience at least 90% of our patients are coming in due to some negative kind of human impact. And there's actually an old saying in wildlife rehabilitation that more education leads to less rehabilitation. So our education program is supremely important to us because not only does presenting live ambassadors engage people to care more about these fascinating creatures by learning about how amazing they are, but it also gets them to know how to be better stewards and how to cohabitate and be better neighbors for our wild neighbors. So before I start talking about a bunch of really cool facts about birds, I first want to make the distinction between wildlife rehabilitation and wildlife education and how our relationships differ from our wild patients to our ambassadors, because those relationships are almost the complete opposite. You'll see us talk a lot in our social media posts about how we try and limit our exposure to our wild patients to only when absolutely necessary. So feeding, cleaning, and medical procedures. And that's because wild animals, all wild animals, are naturally fearful of humans. This is how they're supposed to be. If a wild animal is not afraid of a person, that means that something's wrong with that animal and they're not going to do well in the wild. So we go to great lengths also to not imprint or habituate any of our young orphans that come into care, because we want to prepare our wild patients to be successful in the wild. And that means being fearful of their main predator, which is humans. So conversely, when we have a bird who's non-releasable, who we want to bring into our education program, we want to prepare those birds for the best possible life in captivity. And that means being comfortable around people. If you think about it, if you're being held captive by a creature who you process as your worst predator and who you're terrified by, that's not really going to make for a good quality of life. So we spend a lot of time with our ambassadors, unlike our patients, because we want them to not only get comfortable and gain our trust, but also be comfortable in large crowds with unpredictable children, car rides, and so forth. And all of these things are very unnatural for them. So first of all, we're very selective with which birds we consider bringing into our educational program, because we want them to have a good quality of life. So this is Willow, and we'll be back with a lot more education segments talking about why we have her, why she is not releasable, and why barn owls are so amazing and so beneficial for our environment. So stay tuned for more of Willow and the rest of our ambassadors at the Ojai Raptor Center.